Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a deeply significant and somber topic to discuss, one that has affected millions of lives around the globe. Today, I'm diving into one of the most infamous figures of the 21st century, Osama bin Laden. His name is synonymous with terror and tragedy, and his actions have left an indelible mark on history, forever altering the world as we know it. We're peeling back the layers on the mastermind behind the tragic events of September 11, 2001. This day, often referred to simply as 9/11, changed the course of history and reshaped global politics and security in ways that are still felt today. Osama bin Laden was born into a wealthy Saudi family in 1957. His father, Mohammed bin Laden, was a billionaire construction magnate with close ties to the Saudi royal family. Despite this privileged upbringing, Osama's path diverged dramatically from the expectations of his affluent background, leading him down a dark and destructive road. But despite his privileged upbringing, he chose a path that would lead him to become the world's most wanted terrorist. His journey from a wealthy young man to a global symbol of terror is both complex and chilling, filled with radical ideologies and violent actions. By the late 1980s, bin Laden had established al-Qaeda, an organization that would go on to orchestrate devastating attacks worldwide. Al-Qaeda, meaning the base in Arabic, was founded with the aim of waging jihad against those bin Laden considered enemies of Islam, a mission that would have catastrophic consequences. Bin Laden's radicalization began during the Soviet-Afghan War. This conflict, which lasted from 1979 to 1989, saw the Soviet Union invading Afghanistan, leading to a brutal and protracted war that would shape bin Laden's extremist views. The war served as a breeding ground for his extremist views, where he played a significant role in supporting the Mujahideen fighters. These fighters, backed by the United States and other countries, were seen as freedom fighters resisting Soviet occupation. But for bin Laden, it was a holy war. His experience in Afghanistan solidified his belief in the use of violence to achieve his goals. He saw the success of the Mujahideen as a divine endorsement of jihad, and this belief would drive his future actions, leading to a global campaign of terror. Fast forward to 1996, bin Laden declared war on the United States. In a series of fatwas and public statements, he called for attacks against American military and civilian targets, marking the beginning of a new era of terrorism. He viewed the U.S. presence in the Middle East as an affront to Islam and a barrier to his vision of a global Islamic caliphate. This vision was rooted in a radical interpretation of Islam that sought to unite the Muslim world under a single theocratic government, a goal that would lead to widespread violence and suffering. This declaration set the stage for the horrific events that would unfold on September 11, 2001. The planning for 9/11 was meticulous and involved years of preparation, training, and coordination, demonstrating the lengths to which bin Laden and his followers would go to achieve their aims. On that fateful day, 19 al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, crashing them into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Pennsylvania. The attacks were unprecedented in their scale and impact, leaving a nation and the world in shock. Nearly 3,000 innocent lives were lost, and the world was forever changed. The immediate aftermath saw a nation in mourning and a world grappling with the reality of global terrorism, as the true extent of the threat became painfully clear. In the aftermath, bin Laden became the face of global terrorism. His image was broadcast worldwide, and he became the most wanted man on the planet, a symbol of the new and terrifying threat that had emerged. His ability to evade capture for nearly a decade only added to the myth surrounding him. Despite the massive manhunt, bin Laden managed to stay hidden, moving between various safe houses and relying on a network of loyal supporters, all while continuing to inspire acts of terror. It wasn't until May 2, 2011, that U.S. Navy SEALs finally tracked him down to a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, ending his reign of terror. The operation, known as Operation Neptune Spear, was a high-stakes mission that brought closure to a decade-long pursuit, marking a significant victory in the fight against terrorism. Bin Laden's legacy is one of violence, fear, and profound loss. His actions have left scars that will take generations to heal, as the world continues to deal with the aftermath of his campaign of terror. He left behind a world more vigilant, yet scarred by his actions. The impact of 9/11 led to sweeping changes in global security measures and a heightened awareness of the threat of terrorism, as nations around the world took steps to protect their citizens. His story is a chilling reminder of how ideology can be twisted to justify unimaginable atrocities. Bin Laden's radical beliefs and actions serve as a stark warning of the dangers of extremism and the devastating impact it can have on innocent lives. But in understanding his dark legacy, we also honor the resilience and strength of those who rose in the face of terror. The bravery of first responders, the unity of communities, and the determination to rebuild are testaments to the human spirit, showing that even in the darkest times, hope and courage can prevail. We remember the lives lost and the heroes who emerged that day. Their stories of courage and sacrifice continue to inspire and remind us of the importance of standing together against hate, ensuring that such tragedies are never repeated. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue to bring you important stories and in-depth analysis, shedding light on the events that shape our world. See you next time as we continue exploring the stories that shape our world. Stay safe and take care, and remember to always stay informed and vigilant. As the dust settled on the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the world was left grappling with the magnitude of the attack and its far-reaching consequences. This scene delves into the aftermath of 9/11, exploring the global impact and the multifaceted response that followed. The immediate aftermath saw a nation in mourning, with images of the Twin Towers collapsing and the Pentagon in flames seared into the collective memory. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost, and countless others were forever changed. The shockwaves of this tragedy reverberated around the globe, prompting an outpouring of solidarity and support. Countries worldwide stood with the United States, recognizing that this was not just an attack on one nation, but on humanity itself. In the days and weeks following 9/11, security measures were drastically heightened. Airports introduced rigorous screening processes, and the concept of homeland security took on new urgency. The U.S. government swiftly enacted the USA Patriot Act, aiming to bolster national security and prevent future terrorist attacks. This legislation, however, sparked intense debate over the balance between security and civil liberties, a conversation that continues to this day. Internationally, the response was equally profound. NATO invoked Article 5 of its charter for the first time in history, declaring that an attack on one member was an attack on all. This led to a coalition of nations joining forces in the War on Terror, a campaign that would span decades and reshape global geopolitics. The invasion of Afghanistan in October 2001 marked the beginning of this extensive military campaign. The primary goal was to dismantle al-Qaeda and remove the Taliban regime that had provided them sanctuary. This conflict, which continues to this day, has resulted in significant loss of life and resources, raising complex questions about the efficacy and ethical implications of prolonged military interventions. The economic impact of 9/11 was also staggering. The attacks caused billions of dollars in damage and led to a severe downturn in global markets. The aviation industry in particular was hit hard, with many airlines facing bankruptcy and thousands of jobs lost. The ripple effects were felt across various sectors, highlighting the interconnectedness of the global economy and the far-reaching consequences of such a catastrophic event. On a societal level, the aftermath of 9/11 saw a rise in xenophobia and Islamophobia. Muslim communities around the world faced increased scrutiny and discrimination, as fear and misunderstanding fueled prejudice. This period underscored the importance of fostering dialogue and education to counteract hate and promote unity. Amidst the darkness, however, were countless stories of resilience and heroism. First responders, volunteers, and ordinary citizens demonstrated extraordinary courage and compassion in the face of unimaginable adversity. Their acts of bravery and kindness became symbols of hope and humanity's enduring spirit. In the years following 9/11, memorials and tributes were established to honor the victims and ensure that their legacy would never be forgotten. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum in New York City stands as a poignant reminder of the lives lost and the resilience of the human spirit. The global response to 9/11 has shaped the world we live in today. It has prompted a reevaluation of security policies, fostered international cooperation, and highlighted the need for vigilance and resilience in the face of terror. As we reflect on the aftermath, it is crucial to remember the lessons learned and continue striving for a world where peace and understanding prevail over hatred and violence. Thank you for joining us as we explore the profound impact of 9/11. If you found this video insightful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support enables us to continue bringing you in-depth analysis and important stories. Stay safe, take care, and let's remain united in our pursuit of a better world.